Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about something I think is going to be spectacular. It's going to bring some good things to our planet, well needed and well deserved right now, and that is Jupiter as it transits into the sign of Cancer. Now remember, I'm talking about the sidereal zodiac used in Vedic astrology. But this cycle will be very brief. As I call it, it's going to give us a sneak preview of what's to come. So before I continue on, I want to remind everyone to sign up for my free newsletter. Go to galacticcenter.org. And while you're there, you will see all the advantages and wonderful things I offer, such as my Patreon group. Become part of that, become part of our spiritual community. We talk every week live. It's an amazing, amazing group of people. You'll want to join, as well as don't forget about my Galactic Planner. It's going to tell you how all of these transits affect you personally every day. You can't miss out on this. This is so valuable in astrology to have the guidance of the stars. It truly helps us. So go to galacticplanner.com, and if you want to study with me and become my student, go to universityofvedicastrology.com. You can join anytime. It is self-paced and you will learn Vedic astrology. That's a guarantee. All right, so let's get going and let's start talking about Jupiter as it transits into Cancer. Now, Jupiter's going to go into Cancer October 18th and will stay there till December 5th. Now, here's the thing. On November 11th, Jupiter will be stationing. So what am I talking about with a station? Let me explain this. So the planets are transiting around and relative to Earth, but from a certain vantage point, these planets appear to go backwards in the process of us exchanging in our orbit with each other. There's a point where they appear to go backwards, and they do, but they don't really in the reality of all of us transiting around the sun as that is. But these retrograde cycles are real. They have such powerful effects on us on the planet. So Jupiter is just transiting along. On the 18th of October, it enters into Cancer, 0 degrees. And it starts to slow, and come to a stop by November 11th when it turns retrograde, going the opposite direction. But between this entire time of it going forward and then stopping and then transiting back, it will be at 0 degrees of Cancer the entire time from October 18th to December 5th. And then December 5th, it will transit back into the sign of Gemini, which it will be at 29 degrees of Gemini, going backwards into the sign, till it will turn direct again, and it will not go into Cancer till June 1st. So by June 1st, it will go back into Cancer, where it will stay for a much longer duration, going through the entire sign of Cancer. But at this point in time, October 18th through December 5th, we've got it standing still at 0 Cancer. Now, this is very interesting because a lot of people think when a planet is at 0 degrees or 1 degree, it's in its infancy and it's weak. But not this time, because this time it's going to be in a cardinal sign, Chara in Vedic we call it. And these are the most action-oriented signs. And what are the cardinal Chara signs? They're really the solstice points where there's major shifts and changes, like with the seasons. So we're looking at the sign of Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn. Those are the powerful action-oriented signs. And another thing about this is that the first 3 degrees 20 minutes of a cardinal sign is Virgotama in the D9 chart. I know I'm talking over your head if you don't know astrology, but let me just put it this way. That makes it incredibly powerful. We call it Virgotama. When they stay in the same sign in the birth chart, or the Rashi chart, which is the chart we're looking at, and in the D9 chart. When they're in the same sign in both those charts, that planet becomes all powerful. So it is incredibly strong at this point in time. And let me explain something else about the sign of Cancer. Cancer is the sign that Jupiter is exalted in. It's all powerful in Cancer. So everything that Jupiter is all about becomes empowered. And in Vedic astrology, we call Jupiter Guru. What does that actually mean? Teacher. So Jupiter deals with higher-minded spiritual teachings. And another thing is, it is in the nakshatra, the whole time it's 0 degrees, Purnavasu. Purnavasu means return of the light. And it means major comebacks. Things will come back. Things will be of a higher frequency. Because when Jupiter is exalted, it brings out all the good that Jupiter's about, which is opportunities, which is expansion, which is wealth and prosperity, which is spiritual teachings and higher-minded, dealing with the higher laws of the universe. This comes into being with Jupiter being in this sign, in this nakshatra, and in this degree portion of the zodiac. It's phenomenal. It's got to be something positive come out of this. And what I'm hoping and thinking it could represent is peace for the planet in many respects. A lot of things can be worked out, but it doesn't stay in Cancer. So during this window of time, it's like a sneak preview of what's to come by next June when it goes there and stays there. We're going to get some vision into the future of what things are going to be about, how things are going to change. This will be beautiful to see how these things are going to transform our world. And Purnavasu, Return of the Light, it's one of the best nakshatras because it doesn't really cast any shadows. It's all goodness involved here. And let me say this, the sign Cancer, above all else to me, represents family. Oh my God, so we're talking about coming together with the core base of what makes our world work, family. When you talk about societies in the world and you have togetherness in families where people feel loved and protected, that's the world we want to live in. That's where we'll get a glimpse of how things can be if there's peace in the world. There can be some great agreements that come together during this window of time. And as I have mentioned in other videos before, President Trump has his Saturn at 0 degrees of Cancer. So Jupiter stationing on his Saturn will bring to light some agreements with, I believe, peace in other countries, because actually his Saturn's in the 12th house, which deals with other countries. And as I have always taught all of my students, most presidents have planets in the 12th house because that deals with other countries. That's what you deal with when you're a president, making peace in other countries, or war for that matter. But I believe this is beautiful. This is peace. This is Jupiter exalted. This is it, Virgotama, and it's in a beautiful, lovely, healing nakshatra, Purnavasu. Purnavasu's symbol is abundance. It's the abundant universe, the sky. It's ruled by Aditi, the god of boundless horizons and worlds. So therefore, this could even mean some kind of help from other worlds, beyond this world, boundless energy of coming together. And yes, this deals with the mother, the family, coming together with peace and love. And another thing is, because it is Cancer, I think the housing markets will open up. Maybe we'll get a glimpse of what's to come by next June, July, and onward, because when we have Jupiter in the sign of Cancer, which Cancer represents family and home, this can deal with property and real estate. The prices will become more reasonable and people can start to afford property and real estate again. That opens up a whole new dimension of healing with family and home, doesn't it? So here's what I would like for you to do. I would like for you to realize where Jupiter is going to be for you according to your chart. And if you understand this, this is where your abundance is going to start to become realized. And this is very simple for you to realize based on your ascendant in your chart what house Jupiter will be in. So if you know your chart, well, here I'm just going to tell you, but you have to know what your ascendant and your moon sign are. So if you are being resistant and stubborn and don't want to look at my galactic planner, which will give you everything, really, even this whole transit of Jupiter being in each house for you, it'll be all printed out. But if you don't know your Vedic chart, go to my website, galacticplanner.com, and put in your all your birth information to figure out what your ascendant is, AS, and your moon, MO. But you'll have to scroll all the way to the bottom to find the AS, that sign and house, as well as your, well, just find your ascendant sign and your moon sign, and I'll help you with what house it's in. So if your moon or your ascendant sit in sidereal Aries, then this means that Jupiter will touch into your fourth house. And the fourth house deals with home, family, security. And it could even mean a time that you're going to move or buy property. And your mother, if she's still around, will be more caring and loving. You'll have a better relationship. So this actually is only the sneak preview, because by next June is where you're really going to move into all the things that I'm talking about. Home, family, security, mother. Those will be the things that you'll prosper and do really well with. So probably you're looking at and planning a move. So if your moon or your sun or your ascendant sit in Taurus, this means that Jupiter is going to be in your third house. And this deals with siblings coming together, making peace, or doing more things with your siblings, more communications, much better. Your will, your drive, your ambition, and your courage will be greater. And I'll tell you something else, you'll probably be traveling more, maybe short distances, but you'll be traveling, as well as taking new classes and learning new things. So if your ascendant or your moon sign sit in Gemini, this means you're coming into more money, great expansion, and wealth. Jupiter is in your second house of money, plus family matters come together. There's a closeness tight-knit closeness with family members, healing with anything to do with family. And recognize that your voice becomes stronger and more powerful. Your speech, your voice, recognize that this is a time, but overall, you're coming into more money. So if you have your moon or your ascendant in sidereal Cancer, then this is a time that's going to light you up, because Jupiter's going to go into your first house. And what that does with Jupiter in your first house will actually make you more confident, more secure, happier, brighter. The world seems like a much brighter place for you. And the things that you've been wanting to achieve and do and create in your life, you're going to do it, because this will give you the energy and it will give you the desire to manifest what you've been dreaming of. So this will also help in relationships, because while Jupiter's in your first house, expanding you, making you bright and cheerful and happy, it's also going to affect your relationships, because Jupiter is casting its light onto the 7th house. So if you've been looking for a relationship, it's possible that the sneak preview time period will bring it to you. If not, don't worry. By the time of next June, July, when Jupiter is there to stay, it will bring happiness in relationships, and expansion and security, and a feeling of confidence into your life. If your ascendant or moon sign sit in Leo, this means that Jupiter in Cancer is going to be in your 12th house, which means you are definitely, I got to tell you this, there's something about the past and deep-seated healing that's been needed for a long time. And once all these blocks and healings occur, it opens the door to everything that you've been wanting but couldn't achieve because you felt blocked. You're releasing the blocks. And another thing, you will be traveling to foreign places quite often. Now, if your moon or your ascendant sits in Virgo, then this means that this Jupiter will be in your 11th house, which represents maybe coming together with an older sibling if you have one, but most of all, meeting new friends and new associates, and some very influential people should come into your life. It also means it's a time of great gains and financial rewards that will come to you. Now, if your ascendant or your moon sign sits in Libra, then this means that this Jupiter is in your 10th house. This is career success and advancement. And if you've wanted to open up your own business, now's the time. Things are going to go well for you. But this deals with your reputation. You will be noted and brought to a high position and get accolades and awards and a good reputation. All is yours during this time. So if your moon or your ascendant sign sits in Scorpio, then this means that this is in your 9th house, which means long distance, beautiful travels, high learning. You may be going back to school, get some new education, or just take some classes or be reading. But this expands your mind in a very powerful, high-minded way. And if your father's still around, there will be a closeness and coming together. But most of all, this deals with long distance travels as well as a higher learning and education coming about. So if your moon or your ascendant sign sit in sidereal Sagittarius, then this means this Jupiter's in your 8th house, and this can bring you great wealth through others, maybe inheritances or settlements, or just some kind of financial gains through other people. And this is a time for deep understanding, awareness, and your psychic ability takes off like never before. This is quite incredible for you. And I also get that you're going to find that deep, deep self-analysis will bring great rewards and healing for you. If your ascendant or your moon sign sits in Capricorn, then this Jupiter is in your 7th house. This can bring new love, new connections, new business prospects, and most of all, if you are married, a beautiful healing and togetherness, and your partner will be doing quite well. If your moon or your ascendant sits in sidereal Aquarius, then this puts this Jupiter in your 6th house. You're going to be on a health kick. You're going to get healthier. You're going to get stronger. And everything associated with your work and your employees or your co-workers becomes better. This is a time for you to hire employees. And if you've always wanted a new pet, it's time to adopt one. If your ascendant or your moon sign sits in sidereal Pisces, then this means that this exalted Jupiter's in your 5th house. If you have children, they will be doing phenomenally. They're going to excel in all of their studies and what they're doing. But if you want children, this could be the time of expanding your family. Pregnancy, things of that nature. But overall, your creative ability is off the charts. You are coming up with new ideas that are amazing. Move with them, go with them. You've got something going on here. And it's also a good time for you to make investments. So with that, I have covered all of the signs of the zodiac and how this Jupiter is going to affect all of you. Now remember, I hope you didn't just listen to your sign, because I've got more to say on this. I know how the people are. They don't listen past their sign. But here is another thing that I want you to know. During this time, it is a time for you to expand and grow spiritually for all of us. That's what Jupiter in Cancer is truly all about. It is about opportunities, wealth, and expansion. And we're looking at a well-deserved and needed break from all of the anger and fighting and corruption and problems that have been going on globally in the world. So enjoy this Jupiter, as it just gives us a sneak preview of what it's going to be like in Cancer. But remember, we have, starting in June, where all of this will be relative in an even more powerful way than when it was just briefly there. When it goes there to stay, so is everything I told you about. It's going to stay in your life. So with that, I think I'll close. If you would like more information on me, always go to my website, galacticcenter.org. Thank you.